Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, Rich Slavinsky is going to be with us talking about consultants in the workplace. He has a very interesting topic this evening regarding consulting and consult people in the consulting business, which accounts for about 1/3 of our workforce. What I wanted to discuss in this session is something that comes about every time we run into an economy like we're running into. And it has to do with your career if you're a candidate looking for a job and thinking about where might this new job that I take get me on down the line. Now, what brought this to mind was over the past couple of years, we've seen quite a number of candidates, lots of candidates, get into the real estate business, the mortgage business, things that really weren't related to the kind of thing that they did before. And they get into these types of businesses, and then all of a sudden, the real estate market dries up, the mortgage rates go up, and all of a sudden, they're losing their job. And now they have to go into a prospective employer and explain that, well, they got into the mortgage business because my buddy was making a whole lot of money in it, and I had a chance to go into it, and I was really interested, and I made a lot of money, but the market's changed and interest rates have gone up, and now I'm out of work. So I want to go back into what I was doing before, the kind of thing that I might have been doing before. Now, you got to think, a hiring authority is going to look at that explanation of why you went into the, for instance, the mortgage business or the real estate business, or one candidate, the landscape business, anything you can possibly imagine when the economy is advancing. And they're going to say to themselves, well, if I hire this guy or this gal, and then mortgage rates come back low and real estate starts again, or oil and gas prices go up, or whatever it's like, this person is going to leave me and go back into what they're doing because they can, quote, make a lot of money, unquote. Had a candidate not to just the other day where he had 5 months in one job, 7 months in another, and then a year and 8 months in the job he's got now. And I asked him, of course, why he went into what he was doing presently. And he says, well, I thought I'd try it, see if it would work. It didn't work out very well. So I want to go back to the kind of thing I might have been doing before. People have to think about, where will this next job or where will this opportunity get me? Where can I grow with it? Where is it going to build on the experience that I've got, and where it looks like I'm building a career and not just taking a sidestep because, well, I thought I'd try it. Everybody takes a job as though it was going to be their last job on earth. I mean, what are you going to do? Go into an employer and say, yeah, I'd like to be here for 2.5 years, which is the average span of every job in the country. I'd like to give it a shot for 2.5 years, and then we'll just see what happens. You're not going to do that. You're going to go into a job as though it's the last one on earth, and it's the one that you're going to take, and the one that you're going to be there for the rest of your natural life. And we all know that that's not going to be the case. So you have to ask yourself, when you go into these interviews and you go into taking a job, is this job going to build on the career that I've had before? 3 or 4 years from now, am I going to be able to explain why this was good for my career and why I could grow into it and what it's going to do for me? The reason of, well, I thought I would just try it or thought I'd give it a shot and see what happens. I could always go back to what I was doing. That's not necessarily true. It's harder to do. Had a candidate the other day that got hired about 6 months ago, went from a $65,000 job to a $95,000 job. Now, he should have known that there was a reason that somebody was going to pay him $30,000 more than what he had been making before. But all he saw was the money. He just thought, man, chance to make $30,000 more. Well, the company was going through a cutback. And so the first group of people they got rid of were the people that were making high salaries, especially in the kind of job that he was doing. He thought he was automatically worth $95,000 because somebody would pay it, but it didn't make any sense. Going from $65,000 to $95,000, there's got to be a reason for it. Well, the firm that he went to work for was desperate for his skills and what he needed, but he was the first one to go because they knew in their hearts, and he knew in his heart too, that he wasn't worth $95,000. So here's the point. Before you take a job and before you get into this, like this crazy market, think about what's going on. Think about, is this a good step in a direction for my career? Can I grow in this job? Is it going to build on the jobs and the career that I've had before? So think about it. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashara with the Job Search Solution.